another topical issue that tends to push things off the headlines that we need to be addressing on the statues on Monument Avenue, which is about a 5-minute walk from where I am right now?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, somebody with his past doesn't get to lecture me. That's the first thing. The second thing that I have on this is right now, to me, when I was talking about, let's look at sort of solutions over rhetoric and facts over hyperbole, I just found it interesting that this would happen at this time because I think it's more of a separating tactic rather than a joining tactic. Listen, when you look at history, our history is a convoluted, complex mess. And I want to know, I want to see this, I want to feel this. But the other part of me, you know, I'm not African-American, right? I don't know that pain, right, that they've gone through or what that is systematically or systemically or those things. What I do know, though, is that if you erase history, you know, that's sort of the first step towards, you know, going down a line where anything that offends you is something that you just don't want to see. So I've always been this guy that I try to understand, I try to empathize. I also realize that I'm just not really happy with somebody who's expressed awful things in the past telling me what I need to do or don't need to do as a Virginian. That is something that really struck me wrong. By the way, I've only heard snippets of this statement. I was on a call with the China task force almost until the time we got on this call. So I don't know exactly what was said. I just know I don't like to be lectured by somebody that had issues with a yearbook. I just think that's something that we need to get over. And I'm not going to take any type of lectures. Again, let's look at facts, statistics, and data. But let's also know that we have to have compassion and empathy towards all. We can do that without immediately destroying, you know, history or saying that's the line we need to go down, because I think it actually sort of exacerbates the problem. It doesn't fix anything. It's symbolism over solutions, and I don't think that's the way we need to go.
Well, I mean, as a former history teacher and history student, I would have preferred a more drawn-out process by which we recognize that these statutes are put up for various reasons, and so we don't replicate those reasons today. And I think we are. I think we're falling back into the identity politics trap that was the late 19th century, early 20th century, and can be very destructive. And I don't want to replicate that just by glossing over and saying those are bad people. Okay, but why were they doing what they were doing? These weren't obviously veterans. These were the daughters of the Confederacy who were putting these up. They were trying to honor the dead that had fallen after the Union had pulled out of Reconstruction to basically fulfill a political promise to elect a president, and left literally the occupied South to itself. And there's a tremendous lesson to be learned in that, and I don't think we're learning it. And if they take them down, that's the choice of the powers that be that do that. But without understanding not necessarily the historical context, but the lesson going forward and what we don't want to replicate, I think that's the moment we're losing.
It is, and again, I've said I've been very consistent in this view: is destroying history is forgetting what we've gone through and the travails that we've gone through. But knee-jerk reacting this way instead of looking at the problems and looking at this in a way that really is driven by facts and to make sure we're doing the right thing across the board. Fighting racism and bigotry should be in every fiber of our being. You know where I've been on that. You know where I started with that, Chris. I mean, if there's anybody who hates me, it's certain elements of the fringes based on the fact that I despise bigotry, racism, and hatred in these intolerable ways that we cannot ever go back to. But on the other hand, I want to know why we got there, and I don't ever want to replicate it. And I don't think we destroy history, right, based on symbolism rather than actually sort of attacking the problem in a way that fixes it.
I think